Thanks for watching my video. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button now. The tiny bit of money that I get from YouTube helps motivate me to make more videos like this. So this video we are going to install the front wheel on a Ducati V4S. What I'm doing right now, I have just cleaned out the seals and I'm applying a light coat of marine grease. This is Lubrimatic marine grease. And I'm cleaning off the spacers, and I will stick those into the wheel seals with the marine grease. Remember, we're not trying to lubricate anything on the bike with the marine grease. We are just trying to protect it from dirt, debris, and moisture. So now we're cleaning off the front axle. And again, you can see where one of the bearings is kind of rubbed on the axle. This is the first tire change on this bike, so I wouldn't expect to see that rubbing on a brand new bike. And then we're going to put a light coat of marine grease on the front axle. Again, this is not for lubrication. If the marine grease is good enough to keep your boat trailer bearings safe in and out of salt water and then going at interstate speeds down the highway, this marine grease will be good enough on your Ducati to protect your Ducati from dirt, debris, and other contaminants that might get inside your wheel. But mainly we want to put the grease on the axle when we're assembling the bike, just to make it easier for the next guy to get the axle out. So that's our main goal. It's just the next time this bike comes apart, if you grease the axle, it allows the axle to slide out freely. So we just line everything up and we put our axle into the forks. And then we're going to take our axle nut, and we're not going to torque it down just yet. We're going to do that later on once we get the pinch bolt into place on the right side. But we're going to tighten it down. Just enough to hold the forks in place to make sure that the forks have good alignment on them. And we're going to put our calipers on. So here's our caliper. We're just going to slide it in over the rotor. There is a spacer that goes between the fork leg and the caliper that your caliper bolt will go through. Do not put your bike back together without that spacer. You'll be sorry. You'll take your $20,000 V4S and throw it away really quick if you do that. So we're going to get these caliper bolts tightened down, and then we're going to put a torque wrench on them. Torque specs are in your manual or on the interwebs. Don't come to my video for torque specs. Yeah, I know that torque specs on calipers are pretty much the same no matter what bike you're on. But I don't want to give the wrong torque specs and then have some genius flame me on the interwebs. So I don't do that. Again, we're going to put the left side on. Don't forget about the spacer that goes between the caliper and the fork leg. And these bolts didn't go in as easy as they did on the other side. So I'm just going to snug them up with the wrench, and then I'll put my torque wrench on it. So I always like to hear it click twice, and then I'll go back and do each one more time. So once we get it all together, I like to spin the wheel and then pump the brakes. And you'll find that by doing this, you'll get less drag on those brake pads than if you just throw the bike together and tighten everything down. So now I'm tightening down my axle. So we need to tighten the pinch bolt on the right side first. And again, you definitely want to use a torque wrench on these. These are very small bolts. They're steel bolts into an aluminum fork. Nothing good, let me stress this, nothing good will happen if you don't torque these. So do not over tighten these. You want to go to the specific torque specifications of your bike and nothing more. Do not tighten these bolts down as tight as you can possibly get them. So with the right side torqued down, now we can torque our front axle nut, and then we will torque down our left side pinch bolts. Again, with pinch bolts, do not over tighten your pinch bolts. This is an expensive bike to have to pull a fork off and get a pinch bolt drilled out. It won't be funny and it won't be cheap. So don't over tighten them. If you do over tighten them, the next guy that takes the bike apart, he'll know. He'll know, he'll curse you. So this job's pretty much done. I hope this video was informative to you. Please watch some of my other videos. Wipe down any grease that might be inside that hub there. You don't want grease slinging all over your bike. And then lastly, always make sure that your brakes are pumped up and ready to go. And this is what a Ducati V4S looks like with the wrap kit. I think it's a very pretty bike myself, but what do I know? I'm just a mechanic. But thanks for watching my video. If you like the content in this video, please hit the like button. It helps me out in the long run. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.